Howdy, howdy.
Hey, what is up, buddy?
Oh, just, had a fun-filled day of studying.
Ooh, more studying, more studying. How was
I
the beer
know.
run? Successful?
Yeah, got some beer sitting right next to me, open, ready
Awesome,
to go.
awesome. Welcome, Chris.
Whoa! Did you get an adult to buy that for you or what?
I got my younger brother to go in there for me.
Oh yeah, he is about like what 6'6" now.
Yeah, somewhere around there. Yeah.
Chris, how was your hike? How you feeling, buddy? Are you nice and sore?
Uh, I'm fucking dead,
Yeah,
man.
okay. What you said?
Oh my
You
God.
said you went up Camelback Mountain, right, in Arizona?
Yeah, the Echo Canyon run, which I guess is like the craziest one of all of Phoenix. So, yeah, I haven't hiked in like 10 years, so I decided to do the toughest one
Yeah,
first.
Yeah,
Get it out of the way.
always a smart idea. Yeah, we when I lived in Arizona, me and my mom, my sister, we used to go and do the Camelback Mountains and stuff. We got really into hiking and stuff. Those it's so beautiful. Those mountains, they're hills. They're definitely not mountains. Dalton, don't think they're like peaks, but they're real nice.
I'm pretty sure when I visited once, you guys took me hiking up there.
Yeah, I mean, we probably did. We were super like, let's go hiking.
Yeah. Yeah, we went like geocaching for a bit.
Oh my goodness. That was a deep-seated memory you just brought up.
Yeah, that was years ago. Holy.
Yeah, wow, it's been a while, buddy. Well, boys, it has been I wouldn't say it's been a pretty, quiet week for hockey. There hasn't been like too much going on, really. I mean, a couple games here and there, a few headlines, but nothing like the last couple of weeks we've had like 8 games in a week. Like it was for us it was a bit of a slow week.
Thankfully.
Yeah. So let's just jump right into it,
Just dive right into it.
Dive right into it, really pick it apart. We started last week, I believe it was a Saturday. No, it was a Sunday. The Philadelphia Flyers, who had a bad week, spoiler alert, get absolutely splattered by the Jets. Wow.
Oopsies.
Yeah, there was really, the defense is bad, and the goaltending is worse.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Chris, do you have anything to put to that other than that?
It was like two different leagues.
Yeah.
Really.
It's games like that.
It's.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm saying it's just terrifying when Jets fans are talking about how the Jets aren't even really playing that well, and we're second overall in the NHL.
Yeah. That was one of those games that made me think we need to start using relegation.
What league would the Oilers be
Or
in
the
right
Mercury
now, then?
rule.
Ooh, I don't even know. See, the problem is if we had implemented that earlier, the Oilers would still be in the B League.
It would take a lot of Connor McDavids to pull him out of that.
Yeah, exactly. Chris, you got anything else on the absolute blowout of the Flyers?
Not really. I just what do you say? What do you say? Like I said, two different leagues.
Yeah. And then the Oilers travel the Flames travel up to Edmonton for the second iteration of the Battle of Alberta, and this one was a little bit tamer. But the Oilers and Mikko Koskinen skate away with a 1-0 victory.
Yeah, like when people said that Hitchcock was going to make the Oilers more defensive, like this is definitely kind of what I was imagining right there.
Oh man, there were some scary moments. Koskinen looked real good. McDavid scored the only goal, so that's even better. Yeah, and the Flames scored no goals. It was, and the thing is, normally you're like, oh, I'm pretty sure the one goal was in the first period, was it not?
It was pretty early, that's for sure.
Yeah, so normally like you get the one goal early, it's a boring game after that. But I was on the edge of my seat watching this game.
Oh yeah, it was definitely an exciting game, right? Like both teams were totally in it. It was back and forth the entire time. It was it was a solid one.
And man, I hate David Rittich. I'm hating him more and more every time I watch him.
There's a reason I have him in fantasy.
Yeah, but you're not playing him ever.
Yeah, I keep forgetting because, I'm spending like 19 hours out of every 19 hours with the textbook. It's great.
Yeah. I just finished my finals. My last final was today. I took it at home. It was nice.
Oh, lucky guy.
Yeah, I got an 87, so, past that.
Decent.
Yeah. Then the Jets take on the Hawks, and I believe Crawford was in for this one. Crawford wasn't in. Crawford started this game, or was it Ward in this game, Chris?
Crawford and both.
No, Ward was definitely in one of them because he had that unbelievable windmill save on Connor.
It was the first one.
Oh, he was in the first one?
Yep.
Yeah, I think so.
So Jets beat the Hawks 6-3. I believe at one point this game was 3-3, wasn't it?
Yeah, the Jets were having their way with them. They were like a cat that's playing with a dead mouse and then gets bored and has a nap. And then the dead mouse comes to life, and then it wakes up and kills the mouse again, pretty much.
Do you have any change in feeling on how Hellebuck's playing recently? Because, 6-3 win. He obviously still gets the win, but, you might want him to stop or let in less than 3 against the Hawks.
Well, one thing that somebody pointed out to me that I think is pretty interesting is, they did make changes to the goaltending gear over the off season. And some people are suggesting that might have something to do with overall increased goals against average and lower save percentage. So I don't know if maybe that's affecting Hellebuck a little bit more than others, but he's certainly not the same goalie he was last year.
Are you noticing more pucks just happening to go through him or stuff like that? Or
yeah, I think so.
All right. I definitely have noticed that. Not so much with the Oilers because Koskinen doesn't let in anything, but
maybe in Talbot though.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Talbot just looks shaky.
Yeah.
Then we traveled down to the I believe this was at home, was it? Let me look. I got it written down. Nope, it was in Colorado. Traveled down to the Mile High City. Should be changed to just the High City.
The very, very high city.
The very, very high city. And the Oilers beat the Avs 6-4. Dominating performance. It got a little rough at the end. I feel like we were like up like 6-2 or something like that, and then we were like we're good. And there's like 9 minutes left. They scored 2 quick ones, and I got a little worried, but. And the nice thing though here though in the post game, Koskinen was like, "Yeah, I kind of let my focus get down, and that won't happen again." I was like, "Yes."
Yeah, and that being said, that Avalanche first line is just so good, right? It's like you're never really gonna be too upset when that line scores on you. It's obviously you'd rather they wouldn't, but they're just so good. It's like McDavid coming down and scoring on you, right?
Yeah,
it's hard to defend that.
Yeah, and that was actually a big. Thing in that game is it was like obviously we won because we had Varlamov. That was his second game getting pulled back to back in that game.
Yeah.
So Varlamov couldn't stop anything in the last couple of games, but our 2 big lines were just exchanging punches. And can we talk about that Draisaitl backhand saucer, blue line and blue line?
Oh my god. He's better passing on his backhand than I think 90% of the league is passing on their forehand.
Yeah.
He's just so good on his backhand.
Yeah, Chris, did you see that backhand pass?
I did. It was magical.
Oh my! Not gonna lie, I definitely I had to have 15 minutes to myself after that play.
Well, it's plays like that really makes you appreciate having Dry up on there in that line.
Yeah, and a fun little stat: Draisaitl is making 2.8, I think, million less than John Tavares. Is 22 and currently has on a higher point total. Has more points and has a higher point prediction for the upcoming season. So. Fun little stat. John Tavares # overrated.
Well, I was saying that, before the season even started, but don't at me. It's cool.
You can add him. He just won't respond.
Mm-hmm. I'll see the notification, and then I'll just delete it. It's all good.
Yep. All right, and then the big showdown of the week that we all were waiting for, the second game of the Battle of the Podcast, the Jets versus the Oilers. This was in Edmonton, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, in Edmonton. And
no, it was in Winnipeg.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it was definitely in Winnipeg. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I read my paper wrong. And this was another good game. Another one where the Jets jumped on the Oilers kind of early, even though the Oilers scored the first goal. Oilers battled back with a little bit of depth scoring. I think Chason had one. I think Jujhar Khaira had one.
Yeah, nice pass with Jarvie.
Spooner buried one. And then McDavid hit the post in overtime, and then Morrissey sniped it on Talbot.
Yeah. Honestly, this game went a lot better than I was expecting it to go. So I'm chalking that one down as a pleasantly surprised, but still I wish they would have won in overtime.
I agree. So, Chris, you're on the winning side of this battle for the week. What do you think?
Was there ever any doubt?
Oh.
He turns the knife.
Oh.
Look, I like the Oilers, but come on.
Yeah.
I'm saying is put Clefbaum in that game, and man, I don't know if it's a different story, but it makes me feel better.
Yeah. Well, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. I definitely watched Hellebuck here. And that first goal, the Spooner goal, man, was that soft. I feel like if Hellebuck played better, that game would not have gone to overtime.
Yeah, I didn't like the tying goal either.
The Jujhar Khaira goal?
No. Was that the tying goal? Because that was a good goal.
The Jujhar one was the second goal, I want to say.
Oh, man. I feel like I should prepare better for this. Wow.
Yeah, you only had all day.
Yeah, right?
I can't remember what the tying goal was, but I do remember at the time thinking it was soft.
Okay, here we go. We got. All right, can I have the box score? Wow.
In this episode of the podcast, we just read straight from NHL.com.
Yes. Okay. All right. Goal number 1, Ryan Spooner from Leon Draisaitl.
The one T in the slot.
Yes. Everyone predicted Ryan Spooner was going to score in this game, correct?
Oh, yeah.
Cuddles buries his second of the season. Second of the Oilers, with the Oilers, third of the season. That was a soft one. Then Matthew Perreault pots one on the power play. And
that was a nice goal, though.
A nice finish. I don't know what happened, right? Because he pulled it off the kind of the half wall from down low, and then as he walked to the slot, Draisaitl looked at him and thought there was a guy in the slot, which there wasn't. And then Nurse looked at him and thought there was a guy back door, which there was, but he was way far. He was at the other half boards. And so they just kind of both looked at him, and Perreault just strolled into the blue paint.
Yeah, made a nice forehand, backhand move, put it through I think it was Talbot.
Yeah, it was Talbot.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah, it was Talbot.
Yeah, defensive last, but that was also still nice play by Perreault there.
Yeah. Then Nick Ehlers scores to make it 2-1, and that was one that it was a one-timer. He was actually trying to hit, I believe, Bufflin that was down low, and it glanced off Gravel's skate.
Oh, yeah, that one was garbage. I was mad.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much you can do about that. To make it 3-1 in the second period, minute and 42 seconds into the second period, Patrick Laine was given way too much time and space, but man, I wish Talbot had saved that because he got a lot of that puck too. It just dropped.
Yeah. It's because his goalie equipment's smaller.
Yeah, you're right. You got him. Then to make it 3-2, Darnell Nurse from Chason and McDavid.
As everyone predicted.
Yes, exactly. Then to make it 3-3 was Jujhar Khaira. Yeah. From Puljujarvi. Puljujarvi kind of wrapped it around the net, and Khaira kind of hit a nice little tap in back door. I think the one, Chris, you're thinking of is the one to make it 4-3, the second Chason goal. Or the first Chason goal.
Maybe.
Is that the one where he also just one-teed it in the slot?
I think so. Here, I can look. I can watch the goal right here.
There you go.
Then Shifley scored to make it 4-4, and then Morrissey scored to win the game in overtime.
Yeah, after that ping that is so loud.
Oh, man. Quarter of an inch one way, and that's in the net.
But, that's hockey.
Yeah, listen. I think, Dalton, you put it right. I saw Talbot was starting, and Clefbaum wasn't in the game, and we had a pairing of Benning and Garrison. Oh, God, I think I'm going to vomit.
Oh, man. If Garrison never sees the ice again, it'll be too soon.
Yeah. Yes, I agree. And then, Chris, you're happy with the win? Obviously you're happy with the win, but how do you feel like, overall, how do you feel like the game went from the Jets side?
The Jets are letting too many teams back into games. I don't like it. They got to get that sorted out.
So do you think that's like a defensive structure, or maybe there's like a disconnect between forwards, or just goaltending? Like, what do you think because like you said, they're still winning games, but there's still like maybe like a little disconnect somewhere, like just a little hiccup.
I think it's focus.
Okay.
Too confident that they could close it out anyways, and so they let the team back in? Maybe.
I think so.
And the Chason goal to make it 4-3 was the one on the power play. McDavid picked it up on the wall, and Chason was alone backdoor, and McDavid just rifled the pass onto his backhand.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
It was basically just a McDavid goal, and Chason helped.
So, like, every Chason goal.
Yeah, basically. All right, moving on. Then we have Jets and the Hawks for the second time this week. And that one, the Jets won 4-3 in overtime. And I believe, Chris, they let the Hawks back into this one as well. They had a lead, and the Hawks ended up tying it up.
They did.
And Brossoit was in net for this one?
He was.
What are you gonna do? Brossoit is still Brossoit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's anybody who's got better stats for their level of play ever in the history of hockey. He's a backup goalie, so I don't mind so much. He's a good backup, but what is his save percentage? Is he like top 5 in the league or something? And he's like 7-1-1 now. Like, it's ridiculous.
So are you saying that like his actual play isn't really reflecting his stats accurately, or I'm kind of confused what you're saying here.
Yeah, no, he's not. He's definitely not playing at that level. He lets in weak goals. He is a nightmare handling the puck. Don't get me wrong. He's a good backup. I'm glad that we have him, but he is not a top 5 save percentage. Only one regulation loss goalie. He got that record because the Jets are giving him incredible run support.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm looking at his stats here, and I thought you might have been exaggerating, Chris, but wow.
No, they're incredible.
Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready for his Laurent Brossoit stat list this season?
Yo, hype me up for this. Let's go.
I am.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
9 games played. Laurent Brossoit is 7-1-1.
Chris got it. Well done.
With a 235 goals against.
Pretty good.
And a 930 save percentage.
Ooh, baby, just give him the Vezina.
Wow.
All you have to do is leave the Oilers.
Oh, no.
Shockingly, when your team, scores 6 goals a game, it's pretty easy to win.
Exactly.
Hey, his goals against average is his goals against average, boys.
Yeah,
goals the Jets score.
Well, when the Jets only allow shots from across center ice, it's pretty easy to make the save.
Funny, something really interesting to interject here. So, Sportsnet did a special article on the weaknesses of all 4 Western Conference Canadian hockey teams. Can you guys guess what the Jets' weakness is?
Can I say depth?
No, there
is
is.
Know if it is depth.
It's team stats. The Jets are extremely deep, but no, it's like It's like metrics. It's
Oh.
a metric. There's two of them actually. You're never going to guess it, so I'm just going to say it.
Okay.
So one of them is allowing chances off the rush, and the other one is breaking forechecks in their own zone.
Oh, interesting.
So that would lead probably to, obviously more scoring chances and lower save percentage for Hellebuck, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it means that most of the goals scored against are going to be like one and done rush plays.
Well, yeah, not necessarily, right? Because they're not breaking up forechecks either.
Yeah.
They're not assisting forechecks.
I did notice that there were a couple of times when, to be honest, the identity line, the grit line of the Oilers, that big boy line, was putting your guys' like defense in just a washing machine with that cycle.
Yep. So you guys want to know what the Oilers' weaknesses are?
Ooh, do tell. Is it defense?
Well, that's not a metric.
I'm going to say too many grade A scoring chances.
Well, so not really. So their weakness is puck battles, neutral zone puck battles, and defensive zone puck battles. So they are below league average in that stat.
I believe you in the defensive zone one. 100%.
I'd like to say, though, lucky for us, that is literally Hitchcock's specialty.
And that's why, I told you guys that the Oilers were going to make the playoffs after they got Hitchcock. And somebody else said to me the other day that they think that the Oilers are going to win the Pacific, and I actually agree with them.
Wow. Hot takes are back, boys.
I mean, I can see it. Like, really the only top competition to be the Flames right now, right?
And they freaking won again tonight. Oh, my God.
Yeah, I know. Well, this morning, but yeah, 3-2 or 2-1.
Yeah, 2-1.
Yeah.
Anyone who's listening here who is a Calgary Flames fan, can you please stick your head in the toilet and never come up? Thank you.
Chris's opinions don't reflect the podcast. We love you.
No. If you're a Flames fan, get out of here.
Bullshit.
Do you realize like 99% of the people I interact with on a daily basis are Flames fans?
Oh, so basically everyone you're trying to like be like, hey, I have a podcast. You should listen to it. They're not going to listen to it?
Well, I mean, they probably won't listen to it anyways, just because I don't know why people would want to listen to me talk. But like, I mean, if they do, I guess that's cool.
Dalton, you have a very, very soothing voice, buddy.
Wow, thank you. I should try and speak more high pitched then.
Yes, I think that would help.
I can't do that. No.
No, let's not. Our audio is already bad enough. And then last game of the week, last night, the Oilers played the Flyers. And yeah, I think obviously the score wasn't as high as the Jets, but like the Oilers were just all over them all night.
Yeah, the Flyers suck, dude.
Yeah, they're in a bad place.
Yeah, like when I was watching the Jets game, I was like constantly worried the entire game. I was like, oh man, the Jets, they're going to beat us. I'm scared. And then the Flyers game happened, and I don't think I was nervous that entire game.
Well, I was nervous when the game started, just because I know that the Oilers have a tendency to be like, the Flyers, they suck, and then lose.
But it was at home, and Koskinen was in net.
And yeah, so that happened.
Oh, first shot.
That definitely might be a record, though, for how long he's been on.
Yeah, 23 minutes, 38 seconds.
That is, wow, look at you keeping up. Yeah, but Koskinen is in net, and on that note, Koskinen is unreal.
He's so good.
Unreal. All right, I'm going to pull up his stats right now.
All right. They're going to be just like Laurent Brossois
stats. Yeah, except with more shutouts. Like, people, like, I was looking at Twitter today, and people were like, Koskinen, like, is a sneaky candidate for the Vezina. And, like, you're not kidding. Are you ready? Are you ready for Koskinen's stats right here, boys?
Wait, first I'm going to do a hot take.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right. If the Oilers make the playoffs, Koskinen wins the Vezina.
Ooh, all right. I like it. All right, here's the stat line, boys. You guys ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right, 16 games played. Koskinen is 11-3-1.
Pretty good.
With a goals against average of 2.12 and a save percentage of .930.
Who is he, Bressois?
I'd also like to point out that Koskinen is 7-0 at home. Koskinen has not lost a game in Edmonton.
Can we just start him like every home game and then like start Talbot every away game? Is that cool?
Well, see, we also need to win away games, though.
Well, like I'm still riding out the hope that either Talbot starts, remembering how to play goalie, or they trade him. I guess I don't know.
Listen, I've bought in. Like I'm all in on what Hitchcock is saying. He was like, "We have two really good goaltenders," and I'm like, "All right, whatever you say, Hitch, I'm in."
I believe in the Snorlax.
Oh my goodness, you're telling me. After watching how the team's been playing recently, I'm in.
Yeah. My only fear with Hitchcock is that he leaves after the season's over.
No, please. Well, I was kind of fearing because like we have all these players that are like playing amazing. Like Chason broke his career high in goals last night.
In 33 games.
In 33 games, like we still have like more than half the season left.
Yeah.
Mikko Koskinen is playing unreal. And like all like, man, I just hope I don't trust Chiarelli to be like, yeah, you guys played well one time. 4 years, $6 million, no move clause.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well,
so like,
luckily he doesn't have the cap space to do that.
Yes.
Because of his earlier terrible deals.
He's painted himself into his own corner. Good.
Oh, God.
All right. Anything else to say about the last week's games, boys?
I don't know. You just sent me into a depression spiral right now.
I'm sorry. All I'm saying is, how the Oilers play the Jets 2 more times, right? There's 2 more battles of the podcast.
I don't know. Sure.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Hey, man.
Sorry?
We're an even split right now, and I would say both games have been really good hockey games.
You guys got lucky winning the first one.
Come on.
Cocky.
That was a huge comeback win.
It's never luck when McDavid's out there.
Exactly.
It's just fortunate.
Yeah. That we have him on our team. He's ours.
Thanks to luck.
Yes. All right, boys. Moving on to a little NHL news.
Oh, goody.
So I feel like we're gonna start off with a topic we talk about almost every week. Someone was suspended for doing something wrong.
And the question of the day is, was it Tom Wilson?
The answer of the day is no.
Surprisingly.
Zach Hyman suspended 2 games for a hit on, I believe it was Charlie McAvoy of the Boston Bruins. I will give you boys a second to pull the little clip up if you want to watch it, so you can get some real real time feedback on what you guys think.
Yo, no need. Watched it. Hate it.
The hit. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a real bad hit. And it's just so unnecessary too. Just so late, and he drills McAvoy when he's in a vulnerable position, right? Like, yeah. Did he end up getting injured out of that? I don't remember the map.
No, McAvoy was not injured off that play.
That's good, because I thought he had a concussion for sure. Because his head smashed against the boards.
He had just come back from injury, though.
Oh dear.
Chris, are you pulling it up?
So, first of all, if you're a hockey player and your name is Hyman, you should be able to do whatever you want, because that's terrible.
Oh, geez, yes.
All right, good start. I like it.
I mean, I don't know. I'm just looking at it now, and it doesn't look awful.
Okay, so Marner dumps it in. Rask plays it. Halak plays it. Man, he just drills him, though.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah. Hitting's allowed in the NHL. And still,
so late, though.
It's hard to believe.
It is late. Like, Halak slows it down.
It's late, but it's not so late.
It's late, and the part where he was that far away from the boards, so that when he got hit there, his head just drilled the boards. That's why it's so bad. If that was open ice late like that, he probably doesn't even get suspended.
I think my biggest issue with is, 1, how far away from the boards he is, and 2, McAvoy doesn't know he's there at all.
Yeah, it's also a bit of a blindside too.
Yeah, but You really need to get some peripheral vision if you don't see that guy coming. Like, that's ridiculous. I hate the Leafs, and I don't give a shit about Zach Hyman, besides his name, which is hilarious. But I don't think it's a good hit. I think being that far away from the boards, there's danger there. But he wasn't facing the boards, and it certainly isn't blindside. That guy, he should be in his peripheral vision, and it was a late hit.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, there is a bit of it on McAvoy there because he was definitely watching his pass, right? He wasn't scanning to see if anyone was going to kill him. Yeah, that being said, it's on Hyman to not A, interfere with him, and B, not to hit a guy who's in a vulnerable position. Like, if you do both of those, you're going to get suspended every single time.
Yeah, I agree.
Look how long the referee to put up his arm for a penalty, though. Even that tells you that it wasn't an egregious penalty.
That being said, he did get tossed from the game for it.
Yeah, he did.
Well, they do a lot of things after the fact. Referees are fucking garbage, right?
Well, I mean, you're not wrong.
I mean, if they're not, are they even refs?
Right.
Yeah, exactly. It's like comes with the territory.
I feel like they do a lot of stuff based on reactions. There was one play that was hilarious in a Jets game. I think it was last week or the week before. Something happened. I can't remember the exact circumstances, but Mark Scheifele waved the penalty off, and the referee didn't call the penalty. He had put his arm up. Oh, I remember what it was. It was snow in the face.
He sprayed him.
The player's stick came up, and it was snow that hit the guy in the face, and he threw his head back because he got snow in his face. So the ref went to put his arm up to signal a penalty, and Scheifele did the wave off signal, and the referee put his arm down.
Well, I mean,
just hilarious.
Scheifele generally knows what he's talking about. So
Scheifele is paying the refs.
He's got a lot of respect around the league apparently because he could just wait.
There it is. We figured out the real reason the Jets are good. They're buying off the refs.
Exactly.
Oh,
They're sending Scheifele and his really blue eyes to go seduce the refs.
Mm-hmm. They're slightly narrowing how far the posts are so that McDavid hits them instead of scoring.
Exactly. That's what it is. Someone should go measure the post in Winnipeg.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's a suspendable hit. I just looked at it again. I feel like McAvoy really needs to be aware of his surroundings, that he's playing an NHL hockey game. His back is to the boards. His head or his body is pointed towards Hyman. He's just staring at his pass. I don't know. To me, the fact that he's not injured, the fact, obviously, it was a late hit and he was 3 feet from the boards where there's a little bit of danger there. But I really feel like it's got to be shared responsibility on that one.
At the same time, there's no reason for Hyman to make that hit. It's such an unnecessary play, and that's why I think it should be suspended.
Well, I don't know. I think we finish our hits in hockey, right?
Yeah, sure. But the goal of the hit is to get the puck.
Okay.
It depends on why you're playing hockey. Some people are just there to kill kids.
Yeah, I suppose.
No.
But if you want to not get penalties, the goal of the hit should not.
Are we okay? Are we going to start talking about the philosophy of hockey?
I mean, I could.
It depends on how long your listeners want to actually listen to a podcast.
Yeah.
Well, I will tell you something. When I play a hockey season, at least when I was younger, the first thing I would do, in one of the first games, would be absolutely pasting a guy, even though I knew I would take a penalty, because people would get to know I was a bit of a mental case, and they would stay away.
So it's the same sort of mentality as you're in prison. You got to just absolutely bite it, literally tear a guy's throat out with your teeth, so people think you're crazy.
Mm-hmm. But it's got to be the biggest guy, though.
You have so much more room after that.
I don't know.
Well, so I think the difference is, Dalton, is me and you are a little bit more versatile than Chris.
Well, I mean, I'm all up for drilling people, and if it's a clean hit, I say go for it every single time. The thing is, Hyman's hit was not only not clean, but it was completely unnecessary at the same time. And that's probably where my entire argument really boils down to.
So hold on a second, Dalton. I don't get this. So you're telling me that you do not see the value in finishing your checks throughout a game. You don't see how that benefits your team psychologically and physically.
I don't know how Hyman's hit benefited the team when he got kicked out of the game and then they got a 5-minute penalty.
Okay, but I'm taking the effect of that hit out of the conversation. I'm just talking about finishing your checks.
Would I rather
which is what
finish their checks? Yes. Would I rather? But if finishing your check means you're going to get a penalty, I never want you to do it.
But now you just contradicted yourself because you say that people shouldn't hit anybody unless they're trying to get the puck back.
Unnecessarily.
You're not trying to get the puck by finishing by finishing your check. You're trying to wear down a team and make them think about it. Right?
There is a certain value to that. I'll agree with you there. Like, finishing your checks is a good thing in the National Hockey League. And it's a good thing even if you're playing midget hockey. In fact, I'd say it's probably more valuable in younger levels of hockey just because you can actually play that mental game quite a bit more. That being said,
it's a great
for sure. Listen, as a kid as a guy that used to get splattered almost every game I played in a checking league, like if I'm playing a heavy team that like just drills me after every whistle, or like every time I touch the puck, they're automatically drilling me. As soon as I touch the puck, I'm all right. I'm gonna sound like a bit of a pussy here, but like I'm flinging the puck off. The puck hits my stick. If I don't have obvious room, like if I don't have like a straight line, I'm getting rid of it. I'm giving it to someone else.
Yeah, I agree. There is value in finishing your checks, but even as a player myself, when I got drilled or something like that, and the guy got a penalty, instantly I feel so good. Like I don't even care that I got killed. Whatever, do it again, dude. I'm on the power play. Who cares?
Oh yeah. Oh listen, I played a game on Thursday, and a dude basically lumberjack two-handed chopped me down after I'd already beat him with the puck, and he got a penalty, and I chirped him the whole way to the box.
Oh yeah.
Granted, it's a little different because that was him trying to trip. But same thing. If a dude's gonna absolutely plaster me and then get a penalty for it, he's gonna hear it. Yeah. I might be afraid of the puck when you're trying to hit me, but I am not afraid to give you an earful on the way to the box.
Chirp him a bit, yeah. Also, second shot of the episode for all of you.
Yeah, but that's reasonable. I feel like they're at a reasonable drinking pace right now.
Yeah. It was 14 minutes, almost exactly that time.
Nice.
Yeah, it's been pretty good today.
All right. So try and wrap this up because I feel like we've had more of a debate over a 2-game Zach Hyman suspension than some of the other suspensions we've had.
Yeah, it's only been a 14-minute debate.
So Chris, you think no suspension? Do you think he should have even been kicked out of the game?
Yeah. Oh yeah, he should have been kicked out of the game and probably fined. I just think I don't think that there's anything like obviously bad timing and. That's why I think he should have got thrown out, but I don't think he was running around trying to kill people. I just think it was just a little bit late, and what's his face? What was his name? McAvoy.
Yeah, McAvoy.
He was just a little bit too far from the boards. So,
all right, Dalton, what do you think? 2 games, more or less?
Honestly, I would probably go with 1 game here. I think the NHL was a little bit harsh. I still think Chris. Some good points. Hyman generally doesn't really go doing these things. I don't think he was really intending on trying to kill McAvoy here. I think he was just trying to finish his hit that went too late and didn't really pay attention to the fact that McAvoy was in a vulnerable position. It's on him to notice that kind of stuff, but I think a game would have been fair.
Yeah, I think 2 games is fair. I think you probably could have gone 1. Like you could probably talk me down to 1, but I don't really see a problem with 2 games, to be honest. I've been a fan of, for the most part, watching all the hits that have been happening and the things that we've been talking about suspension-wise that are being suspended this year, and I've been a fan of the 2-game suspensions for hits like this so far.
Yeah, but also it was for the Leafs, so he should have got suspended for the rest of his life.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. Couple of small notes before we get into because I have a few actually bigger talking points. Couple of small notes. In the game against Colorado, you brought it up earlier, Dalton. Klefbom blocked a shot with his hand and left injured. Hitchcock immediately said it was going to be weeks, not days. And then, did you see the development today?
6 to 8 weeks.
6 to 8 weeks with surgery on his pinky, I believe.
Yeah.
The worst.
So,
yeah,
I mean,
and Russell being put on the IR as well.
Yes, and then Russell's put on the IR. We called up Caleb Jones. He looked decent against the Flyers, but it was also the Flyers.
Yeah, I think he had a pretty reasonable game. I didn't hate him out there, so
yeah,
he's better than Garrison.
He made crisp passes, and oh my God, we have to split up that pairing, or never play Garrison or Benning. They're so bad.
Benning, I have a little bit of love in my heart for Benning just because of how good he was before he got that conky.
Nope.
I just feel like Benning can be, if not I don't want to play him on the second pairing, but third pairing defenseman, I'm fine with him there.
Okay, here's the thing. My ideal third pairing is the third pairing I never notice. That's why I like Gravel. To be honest, I almost never notice Gravel. It's great.
I love Gravel. He makes great plays consistently.
Gravel's been very good. He's been I love third pairing defensemen that you do not notice. Do you know what I notice every time that third pairing is out there? Them. Every time. They're so bad.
Yeah. And it's certainly not good doing Benning any favors to be playing with Garrison too.
Why would you put them together? Oh my goodness.
I actually thought that Gravel got pushed around a little bit in the Jets game.
Well, he was playing a lot higher than he should have been. He's a good number 5 defenseman. He was expected to be the number 3 defenseman on that team.
Yeah. Though I will say, with Clefbaum being out, Nurse is getting a huge opportunity. And the last couple of games, I thought he's actually been playing quite well.
Yeah, I don't
up on.
Yeah, I don't love him on the power play so far, but he's done okay.
Well, our power play, even with McDavid on the ice, has looked just so underwhelming, to be honest.
Over the last couple, it hasn't been the greatest.
They get a power. I know they scored on the power play against Winnipeg, but I'm watching the power play against Philly, and I'm like, this is power plays are supposed Oilers take a penalty against Winnipeg, and if their power play comes out there, I'm like, oh my God, this is a death squad they're setting on the ice. Toronto has the same thing. Power plays on Colorado, same thing. When you take a penalty against a team, your power play unit is supposed to be the executioner. They're supposed to be terrified of what you can do. And we go out there, and it's just pass. Oh, they broke it up. Throw it out of the zone.
Yeah. The Oilers. The thing is, it's so much better than last year already that I can't really complain about it.
I'm just looking forward to Bouchard.
The Boosh Bomb.
The Boosh Bomb. All right, moving on. Real small notes. Weezer was selected as the headliner for the Winter Classic game.
They still performed?
Yeah, how do we feel about that, boys?
I mean, they got some jammers.
Yeah, I mean, if I was looking to listen to 2008
or earlier, yeah. But I mean, sure, why not?
Chris, Weezer, any thoughts?
Oh, well, they got Africa now, so they're just going to do Africa and everybody's going to be happy.
Yeah, fair enough. Then my other one is, have you guys seen the goodest boy of hockey, Barclay the pup?
He's adorable.
He is adorable. Chris, have you seen Barclay the pup?
No, I'll have to look him up.
Okay, on Instagram, look up Barclay. I think it is it the pup or something? So look it up, Barclay the pup. He's a little lab puppy of the St. Louis Blues.
Oh, I think I know why I don't know about Barclay the pup.
Why is that?
Because I'm not a pussy.
Oh, sick one. Well done. Clap. Got him.
Anyway, I just needed to take the time, everyone out, because Barclay the pup is the goodest boy of hockey.
You should absolutely recommend watching him go fetch pucks.
Yes. Oh my goodness. I love dogs.
So this is why when we get on the ice together, I run your fucking show.
You're right, because there's dogs in the stand and Michael keeps getting distracted.
That's what it is.
Dalton,
honest.
You come down
here. Throw me up.
Let's go. I'm bringing my equipment.
You should.
We'll do it. We'll do a live recording. We'll get all together. It'll be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be you guys whimpering is what it'll be.
After I dangle you to your jaw strap for like the 4th time, you won't want to play with me anymore.
Never. You have some very interesting fantasies, Michael.
Oh, that's not me, buddy. That's not me. Whoa. Listen. Dalton's scary. With a hockey stick in his hand.
I like hockey. It's a fun game.
And that is purely just because of where he was born.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Like, wow. And honestly, Dalton, I pump you and your brother's tires almost every time I talk to someone in Florida about playing with you guys. I'm like, because I remember we set up that rink by Kyle's house, and I gave you the wrong-handed stick that was probably about 3 feet long, and you were still hitting Obi one-timers
Man,
from
that was
one
fun.
knee. And I didn't understand how it was possible.
That was some good times, dude.
Yeah, so I pump your tires quite a bit.
Well, I appreciate that, and that's good.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so now I've discovered why the St. Louis Blues suck. If they actually practice during practice instead of fucking playing with a dog, they might actually not be terrible.
Oh, come on. You're such a good boy.
Somebody's got to toughen you up.
Okay. Back on track.
All right.
Getting into all right. So first off, I have written down here: big 3 equals big minutes, and I believe in that I'm referring to Nugent Hopkins, McDavid, and Draisaitl are playing like 25 minutes a game.
Play them more.
You're into it, Dalton?
Yo, honestly, like, they're young. They can handle it. If they get worn out, guess what? Just don't do it next season. But the Oilers are winning right now, so I'm like, whatever they're doing, keep doing it.
I mean, Chris, what do you think? I mean, how do the Jets run their forwards with ice time?
I was going to say, first of all, people are really complaining in Jets Nation that Scheifele and Wheeler are getting the bags played off of them. And there's a couple of problems with that. First of all, you're going to go deep into the playoffs. You need your best players to have something left in the tank. And secondly, we do have some good players on our fourth line who are getting like 6 minutes a night, and it's just not enough. So I don't know. I mean, I think the Jets, it's a lot less necessary because there is a lot more depth throughout the lineup. But at the same time, especially with the type of play that Hitchcock expects from his players, playing McDavid as much as he's playing him, I don't know. I don't know if that's sustainable.
It's been sustainable so far, and honestly, like the Oilers and the Jets are in quite a bit of a different situation, right? With the Oilers, I'm concerned about making the playoffs. So, like, do whatever you got to do with McDavid to make it there. The Jets, it's a little different, right? Because you were right; they have so much more depth than the Oilers have. So maybe it's a little better on the Jets side, where you're pretty sure you're gonna make the playoffs. So maybe get those fourth liners, 10 minutes a night, 8 minutes a night, something like that.
So you're saying, Chris, that they're actually playing Scheifele and Wheeler quite a bit?
A lot. They're top. I think they're probably top 6 or 8 in the league for ice time. They're right up there with McDavid for sure.
Which is unnecessary, like Dalton said, because of how much depth and a little bit more stability you guys have in the standings.
Yeah, it's just so tempting as a coach, right?
Yeah, I agree. So that's actually a good segue. Chris, I have written down here, fans not liking coaching, and then in parentheses, Chris rant.
There's not going to be much of a rant. I mean, on the hockey forum I chat on a lot. There's a segment of fans who want to fire Maurice, and it just seems bizarre to me because the Jets had 114 points last year. They were second only to the Predators. They made it to the Western Conference Finals after missing the playoffs.
And he's gone. I set him up for failure by saying it was a rant.
Man, I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of hoping he's gonna disconnect.
I teed him up for it perfectly too.
That was wonderful. Also, third shot of the episode.
Third shot of the episode, boys. Dalton, you want to kind of try and pick up where you left off? I mean, I know it's about the Jets, but I mean, honestly, in Oilers Nation though, no one is saying a bad thing about Hitchcock. Like they're talking about building statues of the man.
Yeah, everyone's all placated because McClellan's been fired, so they're happy for a little bit. There's a little bit of fire Chiarelli sentiment still going on, and by a little bit, I mean 99% of the people.
Unless and by 99% of the people, you're talking about 99% of the people that have a brain, and not Bobby Nix.
Yeah.
Did you see his last interview?
I did indeed. It's
They were like, all right, well, he's not around, so what do you like about Chiarelli? And Bobby Nix was basically like, Chiarelli, great guy, love him, what a good guy.
He'll be here forever.
Honestly, smartest guy I know. Went to Harvard. Did you know that? Went to Harvard.
Yeah, give Lucic 6x7. You know that?
Exactly. All right, Chris, we were filling space, so go.
Oh, bitch.
Wow.
What did you guys hear?
We were up
they
to
wanted
conference finals.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So conference finals, and then of course this year they're tracking to have a similar point total. We're second in NHL again. Number one power play in the league, like top 10 penalty killing, and still people are saying fire Maurice. It's ridiculous. So you talk about the Oilers, and I'm sure you guys have heard a lot of Oilers fans saying, Hitchcock sucks. He's too old. He's a dinosaur. Why do you get Hitchcock to coach a team with so much talent? Yet what Hitchcock has done, he's done exactly what the teams needed, right?
Yeah.
So I will say, me, like when Hitchcock came in, I was thinking those sort of same things, but right now, Hitchcock can't say a thing that I'm not into.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Honestly, I was just so glad Hitchcock wasn't McClellan, so I was cool with it.
Yeah, you were really against McClellan, huh?
Yeah, I watched him just coach the team into the ground, it felt like. So it feels good to have a coach that I don't feel like I hate every single decision he makes.
And the players, respect and, listen to.
Yeah, I know, it's insane. But yeah, Chris, I got a question for you. Is the forum you go on, is it called Facebook?
No, God, I hate Facebook.
All right, I have a question for Chris as well.
Yes.
When you're on these forums, are you posting links and being like, "Hey, I have a podcast"?
No, actually, I haven't done that. I probably should.
Oh, come on,
buddy. We're up to 31 cents. How are we supposed to make more money?
That's almost 11 cents per person.
No, we got to pay back Mike for all the podcast money.
Yeah, Dalton. The last 2 months, I've been paying $12 a month to SoundCloud just so I can put our content up.
What, my dude?
Yeah, buddy.
Oh my God.
Yeah. All right. So last two topics, and they're actually a bit loaded. So this might go real long. So first off, Ovechkin back-to-back Hatties.
Ooh.
I love his celebrations. So obviously it's real hard to compare to Gretzky, and as soon as he had the back-to-back Hatties, they were like, if he scores 48 goals in the next 5 seasons, he'll pass Gretzky. What do we think when we say Ovechkin, greatest goal scorer of all time?
I say probably, yeah. He's up there. He's up there. He's top 5 for sure.
Top 3, if not number 2.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. Who would I put above him?
The dude's unreal.
Yeah.
So now here's my question when it comes to Ovechkin, right? So obviously, greatest goal scorer of all time? It's a debate.
He's the greatest goal scorer of his generation, for sure.
Oh, for sure. And that's why you call them generational players, right? Is because you can't really compare them. Because the thing is when you watch Ovechkin's one timer, what he scored, his bread and butter, what he scores his goals with, 40% of that one timer is the stick technology. Right? If you hand Ovechkin what Gretzky was burying the biscuits with, those aluminum half wooden composite twigs, is he still cranking goals like that?
Well, I mean, if you're going to make that kind of comparison too, you got to say if Gretzky's going up against Carey Price the entire time, is he getting this many goals?
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, it's hard to compare.
Yeah, which is why I still think Ovechkin, top 3 goal scorer of all time, absolutely already. If he passes Gretzky in goals, does he get to be the best goal scorer of all time? Maybe. He gets pretty close.
Well,
that's what I'm gonna say.
If he passes Gretzky, he will be the great, like, statistics wise.
He would have scored the most goals, yeah. But when you say
Right, so
goal scorers of all time, you're not really talking about Gretzky in that thing. You kind of put him in the greatest player of all time category, right?
But Gretzky has the most goals.
He does. I don't know. When I think the greatest goal scorer, I'm kind of thinking like greatest pure goal scorer. Like David wouldn't really be a pure goal scorer. It'd be more like the Line, the Ovechkin, those kind of guys, right?
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
Like Mike Bossy.
Yeah. Brett Hull.
I think Dalton needs to put the beer down. Greatest goal scorer, greatest goal scorer. Now, it gets complicated because once again, you talk about different generations, different technologies, different quality, right? So you have to consider like what the average goal scorer is doing in that generation as compared to the person that you're claiming to be the greatest goal scorer. So if you look at what most players do nowadays, how many guys score 50 goals a year? Not many, right? Like one, two a year, maybe.
If that,
right?
Yeah. Sometimes none.
If that. If you go back to Gretzky era, how many people were scoring 50 goals a year? There was like 4, 5, 7, 8.
2 or
like,
3 from the Oilers themselves.
Exactly. So, and I'm not trying to diminish Gretzky because I can make an argument for Gretzky being the greatest goal scorer of all time. And the argument I'm going to make is that the guy did not have an overpowering shot. The guy just could score any way you could possibly score a goal. And he did it with just an otherworldly sense, hockey sense, and just supreme skill in every function. So like backhanding, stick handling, like every single thing that you can imagine a player would be good at, he was the very best at. So Wayne Gretzky is the greatest goal scorer of all time.
Well, that's why I think you have to differentiate a bit and say greatest pure goal scorer. Because then you kind of like take away a little bit of the playmaking thing. Because
but I'm saying greatest goal scorer. Who filled the net the best?
Well, then you got to say
Wayne Gretzky.
Yeah,
but not even the most, the best. Like, I mean,
it's still Wayne Gretzky because he would just score off his own teammates, right? It's just
hey, I'm not arguing with you. Yeah. I was the one who's just making the case for Gretzky.
I'd like to add that Wayne Gretzky did have an overpowering shot. You seen his slap shots from the from the wing? I mean, laser beam.
Not, man. They were fucking muffins. Jesus.
He was definitely not known for his shot. That's for sure.
They were accurate.
I don't know. Those slap shots were wild.
All right, Mr. Homerism.
Can you put down Dalton's beer, please? Thank you.
All right, and my last topic, and then we'll be able to wrap it up and get to predictions and all that stuff. This one's a bit of an Oilers thing, but a bit not. This week, Andrew Ference, y'all remember him?
Oh God.
Andrew Ference went on the. So, do you guys know where I'm going with this? Have you guys seen this?
Yeah.
No, I haven't.
Andrew. Okay. So, Chris, you're hearing this raw. Andrew Ference went on to the 31 Thoughts podcast with Jeff Merrick and oh my God, Elliot Freeman.
There you go.
Yes, Elliot Freeman. Fantastic podcast, way more popular than ours. They're actually legit.
Overrated.
Got him.
Totally overrated.
Andrew Ference went on to the podcast and basically talked about what went down in the Decade of Darkness when he was captain. And when he was the captain, he did not paint a very good light on the Oilers, if that surprises anyone. So I actually have his quotes here. I did come a little bit prepared today.
Well done.
Okay, so first here, he pointed to the environment as a major cause of the problem. He says, I think there's a combination of elements that got to it. I think that, like I said, the aspect of feeling more scared to make a mistake and be the whipping boy rather than being bold and taking your chances and having that confidence to try the play. I think some guys might get into the role of just being scared to be the whipping boy. I don't know if that makes sense. You urge to win and be bold is less than your urge to not being the whipping boy or stand out, right? So I think that is one aspect. I think that the quickness that radio or newspapers or fans jump and attack their own guys is horrible. I think that the quickness to defend players within the organization. I remember Jeff Petrie or Justin Schultz being raked over the coals and nobody coming to defend them, and then just trading them when their value after they'd beaten them down for months, then trading them. It's like, God. So we'll stop there for a second because there's more. So we'll start with that little aspect. Chris, I want to raw, uncut. You heard the quote. What do you think?
Grow the fuck up. I mean, yeah, I understand what he's saying, but you're a fucking NHL hockey player. You think it doesn't happen all over the place? Yeah, obviously Edmonton's a hockey hotbed, but there's lots of other cities around the NHL that have the same laser-focused eye on their hockey team. The Habs, the Leafs, the Jets, the Flames, maybe not the Canucks because they're all high, but like you have to perform, like that's all there is to it. If you're doing any sort of like elite level job that's in the public eye, you have to perform. That's part of being, earning that right to play at that position. So I'm sorry he was so weak-willed. That's what I would say.
He actually goes on to say, he said, we lost a lot of games and got scored on a ton, but there is narrative where it's just easy to write about something and stick to it, whether it's a player or a concept or whatever it is. You stick to it, and it's fun to write negative things on it, and I'm sure that people call into the show have lots to talk about. It makes it easy. It's an easy way to talk about a crappy situation.
Oh my God,
Dalton, I hear you sighing.
It's just like, okay, I can see where he's coming from, and like a lot of what he's saying isn't untrue, but the fact of the matter is he's getting paid millions of dollars to be under this spotlight. It's his job, like Chris was saying. This is it must be taxing to have people hate on you constantly, but at the same time, like just don't go on Facebook, dude. There you go.
Also, he's the captain.
The captain and your parents. Yeah,
you know what the best way to stop everybody writing negative shit about your hockey team? Win some fucking better. Hockey. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
He sucked.
Okay, so
was a fucking shitty defenseman.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I agree.
He was never. He wasn't very good for the Oilers. That's for sure.
Do you think Jason Smith complained when the Oilers weren't so good and he was the captain? No, because he was a fucking lights out.
Jason Smith was one of the best players on those teams.
All time. He was one of my favorite players. No nonsense, not overly skilled, just a real smart, just go about your business kind of guy. Did everything well.
Ryan Smith.
That too. Ryan Smith, a fucking beauty. What a fucking beauty.
Unreal. Oh wait, so the interview goes on, and so now we start talking about like so in the first quotes he was talking about like the atmosphere and like the media and that sort of stuff and how people are always hating on you. So now he goes to more inside the locker room. Okay, so he goes, I think the most frustrating part for me as a player, like I said, when I went in there straight from Boston where talk is cheap. Dallas Eakins is a fantastic coach. There's another whipping boy that got dragged over the coals. He's a fantastic coach that was dealt just a pure crap hand in a team. I agree with that. Mm-hmm. That would actually listen. You had a couple of players that talked about how they wanted to make the playoffs and talk about how sick they were of losing. Then by game 3, after losing 6-1, they're straight out to the bar until 3 a.m, lighting up the nightlife scene in Edmonton. Like, come on, give me a break. It was the point where it was ridiculous. The lifestyle was way more important than playing the game, making the playoffs. Like I said, talk is cheap. Even in practice, you came from a group where you're practicing against guys like Bergeron or Chara. You're going at each other with in-game intensity. That's how you get better. That's how you be a playoff contender. That's how you be a champion. You try to instill some of those values. We had other guys that had been on playoff teams, and they had the same frustrations. They'd come to practice hard, and there's a group of guys that had too cool to try hard. They had a derogatory term for trying too hard in practice. That's the culture, right? You could have had any defense or any kind of system, but if you're out on a Western swing and you guys are out every single night until 5 a.m, you're not going to win many games.
Yeah, that's a pretty damning statement right there.
Yeah, and I mean, we all know who's taking shots at, right?
Taylor Hall, the young core in general, basically.
Yeah. Taylor Hall, Jordan Eberle. I would you put Schultz in that?
Schultz, Nuge, basically anybody who's young in there. The difference.
Oh, okay. So now here's my thing. Nuge, it's because they asked Nuge about it recently after the comments came out, and Nuge was like, "Never happened."
Well, yeah, he's at least already played it down quite a bit, but also Nuge is the only guy left out of that as well. So maybe Nuge wasn't really the problem because.
No, I think they stopped inviting Nuge because they kept IDing him everywhere.
That's probably it. But also, his comments are pretty damning, and like you do see the try hard, put down kind of thing does come into play quite a bit. And I noticed it even when I was coming up in hockey, right? Like, you know, people are trying hard in comment or practice or something like that, and they got to put them down. And that's just another thing. I don't know how much stock I really put into what Andrew Ferentz is saying here as well, just because I don't want to believe him.
So there's more. Do you want me to keep going?
I mean, yeah, might as well.
All right. I think over the years there have been attempts to disrupt the culture, whether it was Eakins or me or Pronger. All right, so first off, Dallas Eakins was not a good coach. He had a bad team, not a good coach.
Yeah, he got dealt a shitty hand, but also he like ruined Yakupov, so...
What, you're saying you can't just make him run triathlons till he knows how to play hockey again?
Got him.
And then he put him. As much as I hate Pronger, Andrew Ferentz and Chris Pronger, not the same caliber.
Not even close. Chris Pronger dragged that team to the Cup Finals.
Yeah, whoever it was, different people came in to disrupt. But I know personally it was hard for me. You come in as an older guy, but far from being one of the better players on the team. So you can be a leader with experience. But I'm not a game changer. Well, at least he knew he sucked. I'm like a number 4 or 5 defenseman. So your voice only goes so far with people that only respect how good your toe drag is and whether or not you're out partying. So your voice doesn't carry much weight with people that don't put value on those aspects. I was bringing from Boston or that Dallas was trying to instill in the team. It wasn't only frustrating, but it was pissing me off because it was a waste of years of your NHL career. You never get those back, and you see a coach like Dallas get treated really unfairly. Was he perfect? No. He'd be the first to admit that he'd do some things differently, but taking the blame for everything, what are you supposed to do with a culture like that?
Yeah, there's a certain amount I blame Dallas Eakins for the Oilers' struggles, but at the same time, like if you look at that team, that's not a team built to succeed. It took a long time before the Oilers got to that point where they were a team that actually looked like it could succeed, right? And even last year when it was like people are getting hyped about it, that was a team that was once again just built to fail as soon as you lost Clefbaum, basically. Yeah. So certain amount of it's on Dallas Eakins. There's probably a lot of truth to what Andrew Ferentz is saying. I kind of hate that he's coming out and saying it, but you know, what can you do?
Yeah. I mean, so then that's why, do you feel like now knowing, like hearing these things that he's saying, do you think Taylor Hall for Adam Larsson, better trade?
I don't think that will ever be a good trade. That being said, I love Adam Larsson. And
he's our best defenseman right now.
He is, but it could explain a bit of why the trade happened. Maybe there was a lot of the rumors going on about Taylor Hall around the league, so no one really wanted to touch him. Maybe something like that was going on.
Yeah. And I mean, and with McDavid coming in, you don't want, if he had that attitude, like you don't want him getting anywhere near corrupting McDavid. Mm-hmm. McDavid is an angel, and if you ruin him, I will kill you.
But that's kind of the difference I'm also seeing between McDavid and Hall, even, you could say. Is like, for McDavid, all of last season, it was shitty. It was tough the entire time, but he was still going, and he was being that leader on the ice game after game after game. Whereas Taylor Hall would still try and be that leader, and he'd always play hard, for sure. But, like, you really didn't see the back check out of him. You really didn't see that kind of stuff out of him.
Yeah, I agree. And like, that's why you see McDavid named captain his second year in the NHL.
Mm-hmm. That, and he was, the best player on the team as soon as he got there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that helps.
It's always, it's easy to name someone a captain when they're probably the
Yeah.
best player in the National Hockey League as soon as they skate a second on the ice.
Well, I have sad news. It sounds like we have lost Chris for good for the rest of it. I don't know what's going on his end. However, I have sent him a picture of the upcoming schedule, so we will be getting his predictions still.
Excellent.
So, I mean, Dalton, do you have anything else you want to say to the Andrew Ferentz comments?
Nothing really about the Andrew Ferentz thing, probably.
Okay, all right. Well, that's all I have then. So we can keep this train right on moving.
I got something to bring up, though, real quick.
Okay, yeah.
Did you see... Oh, man, now I can't remember his name. I'm actually going to go nuts. Give me half a sec. Did you see that Patrick Berglund got suspended indefinitely by his team?
I did, and I meant to write that down last night, and I completely forgot.
Yeah. So, for those of you that don't know, he got suspended indefinitely because of from his team because he was faking sick in order to not play.
What? The Buffalo Sabres are good!
Yeah, but apparently he wasn't getting the ice time, so rather than play fourth-line minutes, he decided he just wouldn't play hockey at all. This is also a guy, mind you, that has another 3 years at $3.5 million a year with a modified no-trade clause.
Faking being sick. What do you think he told the doctors?
Probably exactly what I told my mother when I didn't want to go to school.
Do you think he had watched Ferris Bueller's Day Off and was he's like, I don't feel so good, and he spit in his hands so his hands feel clammy, and he's like, oh no.
Yeah, went and put his forehead against a light bulb or something like that, so it looks like he has a fever.
Exactly.
Fooled them all.
Got him. But then when they went in to walk into his hotel room, his contraption that looked like he was sleeping fell apart, and that's how they got him.
Yeah, they got him. He's just behind there. He's just playing Xbox instead.
He's playing Fortnite. It's like, damn it, Patrick. Yeah, I did see that. That's good little touch. Nice little cherry there, buddy.
Thank you. I thought we should bring it up at some point.
Yeah. Hey, I forgot it. This is why there's 3 of us.
Exactly.
Well, now 2 of us. All right. So we're going to jump into weekly predictions. I have Chris's predictions here. He texted them to me. So he is still here in spirit because we love him.
Yo, but for first, who won?
Oh, yeah. Chris won.
Never mind. It's not real.
Yeah.
Don't even tell him.
Yeah, Chris won last week's. He won, I believe it was a score of 3-2 to 2.
Oh, close one.
It was a close one. So now the overall score is you are up ahead by 3. Chris has 2, and I am dragging behind at 1.
You'll get there, buddy. I believe in you.
You know what? Hey, man, I'm crushing you in fantasy.
That's all that counts. Wait, was I playing?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you were.
Holy, I am. Yeah, not in the fantasy hockey mindscape right now.
Yeah. Well, I also have McDavid and Nuge. So what are you gonna do?
Ooh, too good.
Yeah. Anyway, so first game of the week. Tomorrow, the Winnipeg Jets play the Tampa Bay Lightning in Winnipeg. Dalton, we'll start with you.
Tampa 4-2 victory.
All right. Yeah. 4-2 loss for the Jets.
Yeah.
Chris is actually also going against the Jets with a. Wait, did you say a 4-2 loss?
I said a 4-2 loss. Did he also say a 4-2 loss?
He also said a 4-2 loss.
I hate this guy.
And he actually got it before you. So you want to maybe switch it up, make it a 4-3 loss?
Oh, no, we're going to go for a 4-1 loss now.
Oh, he changes it to a 4-1 loss. Chris goes to the 4-2 loss. You know what? I hope Chris comes back and listens to this, and I want to let Chris know that we love you, buddy. I know you were roasting me, but we love you. 4-3, Jets win.
Oh, get out of here.
Hey, I also got to play the gamesmanship a little bit here.
Yeah, you garbage.
I'm going to say 4-3 OT win again.
Oh, fancy.
Yeah. Okay, then Oilers play Vancouver for the first time this year. It's been a while.
Yeah, that's weird.
I'll kick this one off. Vancouver's goals against, team plus minus is horrid. Oilers are going to win 5-2.
I'm going to go with Oilers are going 5-1. Gamesmanship.
Oh, yeah. All right. Chris says that is a 3-2 Oilers win.
Ooh, he's going for the close one.
Yep. All right. Then on Tuesday, the Oilers play at home against St. Louis for the second time this season.
All right.
Chris, I'll start this one off with Chris. Chris says it is a 4-1 Oilers win over St. Louis.
All right. I'm going to go with a 3-1 Oilers win.
3-1 win. All right. I'm going to say a 3-1. I'm going to say I'm going to say a 4. No, he had 4-1. Oh, geez.
You're not going to go for the shutout?
Oh, yeah. 3-0 shutout.
There you go. Well, I mean, Koskinen's going to be a net, so.
Yeah, Kosk with the shutout for the extra point.
There you go.
All right, then on Tuesday as well, though it is a later game, the Winnipeg Jets play the LA Kings.
Is this one mine first? Sure, I'll go.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead, buddy.
I'm going to say the Jets win 3-0.
Jets win 3-0. All right. Who gets the shutout?
Hellebuck.
3-0 win. Helly. All right. Chris has a 2-0 win.
Ooh.
Against LA.
Copycat. Though he did it first.
Yeah, he did do it first. And then I'm gonna say St. Louis sucks, dude.
So bad.
I'm sorry, all the St. Louis listeners. I'm gonna say I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt. Say 4-1.
All right. Yeah. Maybe they'll get a goal.
Maybe we'll see.
If Tarasenko isn't traded by then.
Yeah, exactly. All right, then the last game of the week. The Oilers only have 2 games this week. The San Jose Sharks play at home against the Winnipeg Jets. Chris says that it is a 3-2 loss to San Jose.
Wow.
In overtime.
Wow.
3-2 OT loss. All right, Dalton, what do you got?
I'm going to say a 4-3 regulation win for the Winnipeg Jets.
4-3 win. All right, I'm going to say a 4-2 win for the Winnipeg Jets.
So we're the ones who have faith in Winnipeg? That's a little weird.
I guess so. Chris actually going 2 out of the 3 he thought they're losing. Man.
Wow, not a lot of faith.
Of course, watch. Next week he's going to tell me I read his text wrong.
Here, I'll read them real quick just to make sure.
Yeah, you go and check. I will do the wrap. I'll do the wrap up.
I don't know. It looks right to me, dude.
All right, fair enough. All right, we got 2 opinions. All right, everyone. This was a bit of a longer podcast, so we appreciate everyone sticking with it. We appreciate all the listens. We shout out to Anchor and Pocket Cast for the sponsorships. We're up to 31 cents, everyone. We're going.
Oh man!
So this is episode 10.
We did it.
So we did it. We made it. Episode 10, and we look forward to many, many more of South of the Blue Line. You can follow us on Twitter at Blue Line South, on SoundCloud at South of the Blue Line Podcast, Apple Podcasts. Wow. Stitcher, Pocket Cast, Google Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere you can find your podcast, we are probably there. Look at Blue Line South Podcast. I'm Michael. Chris is here in spirit. Dalton is in Calgary.
As always.
And we will see you next week.
Bye-bye.